free from emotional dependency. You may wonder whether he or she is your true love. Because beneath the longing is a quiet ache, a need for stillness in the storm, a gaze that anchors you, a voice that hushes the noise within. You reach for connection, but what you're really grasping for is regulation, a borrowed sense of safety. This isn't weakness. It's a wound shaped by absence, by patterns etched into your nervous system, by stories you were told about what love should feel like. And while it's not your fault, it is your path to grow and shine. This video is not a reprimand. It's a map and a gentle unraveling of the architecture of emotional dependency. Through the lenses of psychology, physiology, and shadow work, we'll explore the architecture of emotional dependency, how it forms, why it persists, and what it costs you. You'll learn how to recognize the patterns, reclaim your emotional sovereignty, and begin the healing process from the inside out. This is your invitation to come home to yourself. The anatomy of dependency. Emotional dependency is not a personality flaw. It's a nervous system adaptation. It begins in childhood, when your emotional environment teaches you that safety lives outside of you. When your caregivers are inconsistent, emotionally absent, or conditional with their love, your body learns. I am only okay when someone else is okay with me. This is not a conscious belief. It's a physiological imprint. Your brain wires itself to seek external regulation. Your identity forms around being wanted. Your sense of worth becomes tethered to someone else's approval. And so, as an adult, you don't just want love. You need it to feel real. You need it to feel calm. You need it to feel like you exist. This is why you panic when someone pulls away, feel euphoric when they return, lose yourself in the space between their texts, shapeshift to avoid rejection. You're not addicted to the person. You're addicted to the emotional regulation they provide. And that regulation was supposed to be internal, but it never got built. The physiology of attachment. Neuropsychology shows that attachment isn't just emotional, it's biological. When a child is soothed, mirrored, and emotionally attuned to, their brain develops pathways for self-regulation. They learn to calm themselves, to trust connection, to tolerate emotional discomfort. But when those experiences are missing, the brain adapts for survival. It becomes hypervigilant. It scans for threat. It attaches quickly and desperately, because connection feels scarce. This is why emotional dependency feels so urgent. It's not just longing, it's survival. Your body is trying to complete a loop that was never closed. And every relationship becomes a reenactment, a chance to finally feel safe. But safety doesn't come from repetition. It comes from integration. The psychology of self-abandonment. Dependency doesn't begin with the other person. It begins with the moment you decide that your feelings are too much, too loud, too inconvenient, too unsafe. So you silence them. You shrink. You perform. You become the caretaker, the pleaser, the emotional chameleon. And in doing so, you abandon yourself. You stop asking, "What do I need?" but start asking, "What will make them stay?" You trade authenticity for attachment. You betray your truth to preserve the bond. You become a mirror, reflecting what they want, while erasing what you are. This is not love. It's emotional exile. And the longer you live in exile, the more disconnected you become, not just from others, but from yourself. The illusion of safety. You stay in relationships that hurt because they feel familiar. Not safe, familiar. Your nervous system doesn't seek peace. It seeks what it knows. If chaos was normal, calm feels suspicious. If love was conditional, consistency feels boring. If abandonment was constant, emotional distance feels like home. This is why you chase people who pull away, why you tolerate mixed signals, why you mistake volatility for passion. You're not choosing pain. You're choosing the emotional blueprint your body recognizes. But familiarity is not safety, and repetition is not healing. Until you break the illusion, you'll keep calling trauma love. The hidden matchmaker, the shadow. Carl Jung taught that the shadow holds everything we reject in ourselves, our anger, our needs, our power, our truth. And when we suppress these parts, they don't disappear. They find expression in relationships. You attract partners who embody your shadow. You submit to people who reflect your disowned strength. You depend on those who mirror your unclaimed desires. This is why you're drawn to emotionally unavailable people. Why you tolerate manipulation. Why you stay in dynamics that diminish you. Because your shadow is trying to speak. It says, you've denied your voice, so you chase theirs. You've buried your power, so you submit to theirs. You've rejected your truth, so you cling to their version of you. This is not bad luck. It's unconscious magnetism. And until you integrate the shadow, it will keep choosing for you. The cost of dependency. Dependency feels like love, until it doesn't. It feels like, I can't breathe without you. I need you to feel okay. I'll do anything to keep you. But beneath the surface, it's suffocation. You lose your voice. You lose your boundaries. You lose your ability to exist without their gaze. And when they leave, you don't just grieve the relationship. You grieve the version of yourself that only existed in their presence. This is why breakups feel like identity collapse. Because you built your emotional scaffolding around someone else's approval. And when they're gone, the structure falls. This is not connection. It's captivity. And the cost is your selfhood. Individuation. The turning point comes a moment when the pain becomes louder than the fear. When the ache of self-abandonment outweighs the terror of being alone. This is the threshold, the beginning of individuation. Jung described individuation as the process of becoming whole, of integrating the shadow, reclaiming the self, and living from truth. It's not a rejection of love. It's a reclamation of sovereignty. You stop asking, what do I need to do to be loved? But start asking, what do I need to do to be free? How to break the cycle. Breaking emotional dependency is not a single act. It's a daily practice. It begins with awareness. Recognize when you're outsourcing regulation. Reflection. Ask what emotional need is driving the dependency. Reconnection. Begin meeting that need internally. Boundaries. Stop tolerating relationships that require self-erasure. Integration. Reclaim the parts of you you've abandoned. You learn to sit with discomfort, to soothe your own nervous system, to validate your own worth. Not because you don't need connection, but because you no longer need it to survive. What healing looks like. Healing doesn't mean you stop wanting love. It means you stop needing it to feel whole. It doesn't mean you stop craving intimacy. It means you stop sacrificing yourself to get it. It doesn't mean you stop feeling pain. It means you stop letting pain define your choices. You begin to say, I can be alone and still be okay. I can feel anxious and still choose truth. I can love without losing myself. This is emotional resilience. This is liberation. This is the return to self. If you're ready to stop outsourcing your worth and start reclaiming your emotional center, then begin the 30-day to authentic love and emotional liberation program is your guided path to individuation, regulation, and self-sourced love. It isn't a quick fix. It's a psychological initiation, a daily unraveling of illusion, a reclamation of emotional truth, and a return to wholeness. Across 4 transformative weeks, you'll move through authentic love, built on sovereignty, not survival; emotional resilience, the ability to feel deeply without collapsing; self-confidence, rooted in truth, not performance; relational clarity, knowing who to choose and why; inner peace, from releasing inherited shame and trauma; psychological integration, reclaiming the parts of you you've buried; freedom, from emotional addiction and the need to be chosen. This is not surface-level self-care. It's deep emotional excavation. It's the kind of healing that doesn't just soothe, it transforms. If this video stirs you something, please leave comments below and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching. See you soon.